Hot LBR the time.
When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighter. When they were coming, they said they were liberator.
Good evening.
In their time, they changed their mind.
A very fantastic weekend.
They changed their mind. What kind of people is
This is how we choose to welcome you to the program.
What kind of people is They are freedom.
Good evening, Liberia.
They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you building up.
Your fact-based program
Freedom fighter, you
where we bring you issues that matter,
freedom fighter.
sharpen the foundations, and by fire provide enlightenment. Throw light on our local politics before transitioning into the national politics. You know, at times you need to observe what is happening around you before going above. When was the last time you ever spoke about issues happening in your district? This is how we choose to reflect on the weekend. The weekend appears to be very sick. No time to waste. One of the greatest noise in the country has been put to rest for a bit. That has to do with the call for the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Code. Liberians are waiting to what the president has to say about that particular issue. Somebody told me this is a very big win for justice. Any attempt to refuse to establish the War Crime and Economic Crime Code, it will be like promoting the issues about impunity, the culture of impunity. You know, our country, Liberia, is faced with this culture of impunity for a very long time. The need to hold people accountable for their actions cannot be overemphasized. People should be made to account for what they did. So very shortly we'll be ushering in two loyalists of the governing Unity Party. Two loyalists of the governing Unity Party. Mark Divine McKay, a former chairperson of the Princess Gabriel Kennedy. And the other person is Sekou Sharif, a former master in the area of broadcasting. One-time talk show host at Hot FM. He has transitioned into the mainstream politics. So, okay, it's good to be back here. While we let's take a short break. I see Chairman Zone actually following the discourse. Chairman Zone, we want to say welcome and keep following the discourse. Let's go overall. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we have our guests pretty well seated in our studio. Let's take a short break.
Yeah.
master of the king. I'm back on these egotistic politicians. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. It's just the way that we live. My people still acting like graves. See, y'all need to change all that evil mentality. You won't receive, you must give. Let's change the way that we eat. Let's change the way that we think. See, I'm from the ghetto where kids not that wasted. If you can smoke, you can drink. I know you been to America, but I just came from Soweto. Cause that by easy, the living is hard, but we still survive in the ghetto. When the government steal that embezzlement, the government people are problem. I swear to God, who gonna solve them? I swear to God, who gonna solve them? When you get money, you all in your brabby, you jag out to have on your product. I stand for the girls and the boys in the ghetto, the ones with no money to eat, man. They spend millions of dollars on guns, fuck your way out with infrastructure and loved ones. 9 out of 11 with crumbs. Where I'm about to raise up my daughters and sons. We need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. I see no peace among all you politicians, but we got peace in the ghetto. All my people show me love. Yeah, we got love in the ghetto. The country too hard to do. The Bobby because by what they can do. You send your boys in my who? Excuse me, I'm talking to you. See how much you spend on your coat and your glasses like you don't even know the rules. See how many people are dying for hunger. See how much you spend on your shoes. Hey, wait. Someone please come and investigate. I done found out analysis. These politicians be changing their subjects and predicates. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. Government will feature boy in my ribbons. See chilling with my ex. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. So government will feature boy in my ribbons. See chilling with my ex. We need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem.
Welcome. We just told you that right after this musical break, we're going to be ushering in two loyalists of the Government Unity Party who will be in our studio to talk about other key issues that matter to our district and by fight the national discourse. So we just received our guest, Magdi Fan McKay and Sekou Sheriff, one-time broadcaster, is always a broadcaster, but now he is into the mainstream of Liberia politics, trying to contribute his idea towards the growth and development of our country. The last time I hosted him, he justified multiple reasons that triggered his support for President Joseph Waka. At the time, Joseph Waka was a candidate. He was a bearer of the opposition unity party that is now in the gravel seat. So we have these two gentlemen in our studio, and one person is from Team Princess Gateway. He's a chairperson of Team Princess Gateway, and these two gentlemen are here to talk about. So, gentlemen, you guys are welcome. It's good having you again.
Mm,
So we'll start with Mac, and then we'll go over to Sekou.
and firstly, I'd like to say thanks to the management staff of Focus on TV. It's a pleasure being here. I'm not a stranger here anyway, so this is my home. So again, the name is Mark Acknor Divanchi, resident Gatineau, New Georgia, the housing estate.
Okay.
So it's a pleasure being here anyway.
So let's go over to Sekou. It has been a very long time since I hosted him. I can remember that was during the heated moment of the campaign when he justified several reasons that attracted his support to the presidential bid of Joseph Boakai by the time that was during the campaign. So now that the government is, I know it has been more than 2 months since this government took office, and probably he has some other issues that he has going on. Because welcome, just introduce yourself.
So thank you so much for the invite.
Mhm.
I'm elated. I take this as a great pleasure to be on a very big platform, and let me appreciate the management of this uh, unique broadcasting system. I think you guys are doing a fantastic piece of job here, ensuring that our people are informed in discriminating and across the length and breadth of Liberia. It is always a pleasing pleasure. To sit.
Definitely.
I'm glad to be here. So we look forward to having a very succulent and fruitful discussion.
All right, you just
And
listened to a good man with a very
it
brilliant.
is also yeah, and he has Mark is an integral part of the United Party. But for me, I am just a supporter or an affiliate of the United Party.
So your support
Yeah.
to it was only based on the fact that Joseph, you wanted to see Joseph Boakai,
presidency.
go to the presidency.
Yes,
How
absolutely.
far? How you spoke about you been knowing Mark for a very long time? How has that relationship been? What
Well,
was the historicity of the relationship?
yesterday, Mark and I we had some political disagreement.
Definitely, it was I think during the 2016, 15, or 14 upward. We ready to go.
What? What of each?
I think he was supporting the then United Party was in the opposition.
Uh-huh.
The CDC was the opposition. They was the leading opposition bloc, but then the United Party was headed by the the Madam Salif, but then Madam Salif was the president,
Mhm.
the Republic of Liberia. So you know that we readiness had a
So how did you guys manage after the movement, a very turbulent movement of having disagreement and for us to turn into a more cordial relationship? How did it happen?
So you see, we had a relationship
Uh-huh.
long. We grew up together, went to the same school, Jimmy Judicon. So it was nothing strange. That is why you see the issue about politics now gospel.
Mhm.
People change, their minds when it comes to buying the necessary ideas.
Mhm.
And, sometimes people feel like the team I was supporting, that's not the rightful team at this time. I feel like they have a lot of losses on that team. And when you switch to another team, even though you talk a lot of things about the past team, definitely I see issue welcoming you and still having doubt that you just came to play around. No, 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 no. That's not my style of politics. When you decide to support a particular political party, you choose to support this political party and you have make it clear, make it known to the public.
Mhm.
Why hold something against it? So we started our friendship.
Okay.
From that point, started moving, we started supporting the United Party, but then was in the opposition community. We started working together.
Start working things out. So I would ask you individually, and because there have been district tech team and the township particular has been a little bit tense relative to the purported demolition exercise, even though there are several other controversies regarding the demolition exercise of the predominantly the bus shelter. So I would ask you, how is district tech team? Sekou, then I would like to start with Sekou. How is this tech team, particularly the township of New Georgia?
Uh, just to I thought to just zero in on
Mhm.
the issue about my brother Mark and myself friendship.
Okay.
So uh, you know, democracy call for the free expression of ideas
Sure.
and how one can freely associate and disassociate.
Mhm.
So on the basis of that, as brothers, as friends, so we have diverse opinion.
Mhm.
And Mark's view was that the United Party was best suited, and I said no, I support that Joshua.
Mhm.
I think the last time I was here, I articulated those opinions.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, I thought that those who have been the one to save like when people considering his background,
Mhm.
and on the basis of that, I supported the CDC, and not only did I support the CDC, I also played an integral part of the CDC coming to power.
Yeah.
I served in the youth structure of the CDC.
I think Secretary General, right?
Vast political, I said as Secretary General, later on became political, vice for political affairs, and all of that. I served in all of in the youth and other structures of the party.
Mhm.
So on the basis of that, we went into the tour process. So my having been someone from the angle of the Union Party,
Mhm.
and myself,
Obviously, he will not agree with
yeah,
you with your political idea.
and more than that, we do not allow our political views, or the diversion of our political views to overshadow our friendship, our relationship as brothers. And so that was how we managed to navigate through that part, and today we managed to learn again on the other side. So this is why when people say to you that we will be political opponent and tomorrow will be on the same side, depending on the situation. So it happened in 2023 that I supported Mark's party, the Unity Party. Yeah. So my support is basically to the presidency, right? Yeah, I'm not a member of the Unity Party. I don't intend at this point in time, to take membership of the Unity Party or any political party. But I support the president's ambition.
But do you see any further quality that will further impress you to establish a stronger base with the Unity Party, thereby gaining membership status?
Exactly, absolutely.
Mhm.
The way the president has begun to govern,
Mhm.
it tells anyone or it tells me that there is a better day ahead, or there's there's prosperity in the making, right? There's prospect. So you can sense that the president is on the right trajectory in terms of ensure that the country is going properly.
Mhm.
So there are some that are variables that one can suggest or surmise to say that
Yeah.
I can say I will take membership in the party based on where I see the president govern in this first 60, 70, 80 to 90 days.
Mhm. Okay, but I want to ask you an individual question based upon your relationship. I've seen Stephen who and you used to be very, very important in terms of your political disagreement. How did you feel when Sekou said, "I am no longer a institution. I am now supporting the Unity Party in Liberia"? How did you feel?
The fact is,
Mm.
Union Party supporters,
Mm.
was pushing the message, the rightful message at that particular time when we were at the opposition point,
Mm.
when we were at the junction of the opposition community.
Mm.
We were pushing the rightful message. And George Weah was, he was validating our claim. Yeah, we said that he's not proceeding well. He was getting a lot of support. You know, think to make his followers.
He was
Some of his
justified.
followers,
Yeah.
some of his followers that was knowledgeable, that understands the workings of national government, that
Mm.
knew that he was not doing better,
Mm.
that knew that he was not a favorable
Mm.
at that particular junction. They thought he wanted to leave. So it was not a strange thing to see. My brother Sekou well understands the issues,
Mhm.
the dialectics about politics.
Mhm.
So it was not strange.
Mhm.
Between the lines,
Mhm.
he could see those variables. So I don't feel that it was like something strange. I knew that one day he was going to come over, not being a full United Party supporter, but then being a supporter, not being a member of United Party, but being a supporter. So he saw the variables, and we start. I think we started doing the we started moving as a team during the Delon election, Delon first senatorial election.
Wow.
Yeah, because they don't. I think they don't want to the first time he won, the second, So we started.
Okay.
So it was not something strange because I knew he was one of the
So
wise
you're a bit
individuals
concerned. Yeah.
in the CDC.
Okay, so I will ask you, like I asked Sekou before he interrupted the trying to write a retrospect on the relationship you people had in the past. And I want to ask you, how is this trade? How is the township of Georgia in particular?
Mhm. The township is gradually moving ahead
Mhm.
when it comes to a lot of issues.
What
But then
what are the issues?
you can see along the road
Mhm.
they are clearing the alley view,
Mhm.
clearing the care fix the alley
Mhm.
on the new Georgia built into the Freeport. The process is still intact.
Mhm.
We still doing that. But then the fact is,
Mhm.
in the terms of development, people gonna complain. Let's be real.
Are their complaints not valid, or
They,
is it
they,
that
they,
they
they,
just
they
want
are
to
not
complain?
they are not valid.
Yeah.
Right? Why make that complaints to not be valid? Is this right? About the box stuff because I think that one of the major issue right now,
Mhm.
the major trending issue in District 13,
Mhm.
the demolition of the bus stop. You know, so I have my
Do,
own
do you support the demolition of the block shelter?
definitely.
Why do you support it?
I supported it on the basis that that particular position the bus stop was,
Mhm.
it was not safe. Let's be honest, it was not safe
Mhm.
for people using that particular bus. Moreover, the bus stop was on the tension, the high tension line,
Mhm.
right? So you see, we had our issues, right? But then the people within the district felt that the bus stop was serving citizens and serving, motorcyclists, right? But then the honorable, the outgoing commissioner, Honorable Senator, got a permit from the Ministry of how you call it,
Public works.
Public Works
Mhm.
before constructing the bus stop. No, he did not. So at the end of the day, the bus stop fall in the attic. We not hunting nobody. Before then,
Mhm.
before they could break the bus stop,
Mhm.
right? Communication was served on the 29th of March to the general public.
To the general public.
Definitely, and I got a communication from the Ministry of Public Works.
Mhm.
So it was not something strange
Mhm.
that, except majority of our friends that support the CDC,
Mhm.
feel that we try to destroy the how can I call it? We try to destroy the image of the outgoing or commissioner.
So
You know, so
let's hear your opinion regarding this particular demolition exercise that affected not only the bus shelter we are talking about, but other market structure belonging to Petri Trader. So what do you have to say regarding this particular issue?
Um, the last time I gave my opinion on this particular subject matter, apparently it was not on this platform.
Mhm.
So that means restate and reiterate. that the decision to have demolished the Buster was in the right trajectory. It was in the right way, and
Are you backing the government of President Joseph Walker?
exactly.
Because you were mostly driven by Joseph Walker's legacy, so obviously you would be backing him to maintain that particular relationship.
We came to power
Mhm.
in the matter of rescue.
Mhm.
In rescuing the country, we see that there will be broken. People will have issues. But at the end of the day, rescuing the country is what's matter. So this is why the president is committed to ensuring this country is rescued in all the.
A lot of the people who are
So
still
the
to
bus stop,
Mhm.
going forward, that bus stop was not populous, and according to sources, the the, the current representative even advised the commissioner, the former commissioner, Commissioner Stewart, to advise the former commission to abolish or the, that particular structure in that place because it was that proper and it would have been removed based on the Ministry of Public Works plan. So and he did not listen. At the end of the day, we went ahead and built that political structure because that structure was mainly meant to accommodate the vote in the 2023 election. If you look at the last span of the project was built in less than 30 days, right? In the campaign period, in order to accommodate votes. So that project was a political project. So as a matter of fact, it was only built to have the PC accommodate votes. So as a matter of fact, it cannot stay in the way of national development because we are here to make substantial development. But we are to make I call it those 419 development that I see there at the end of the day that can't see anywhere. So the fact of the matter is that that particular structure was built at the wrong place, and the government is in the right to have removed it so that the right thing can be placed at that place according to the government own structure because the government has a plan.
But one of the statements that I captured from a lot of the people who were victims of that particular exercise was the fact that they said they alleged that the government through the Ministry of Public Works didn't serve them a prior notice, and every one of them were just saying they came here and broke our market structures, and we struck room to build those structures, and as a matter of fact, they classified that particular exercise to be an immune exercise, owing to the fact that the government didn't serve them of prior communication. What do you have to say in regard to that? Generally,
So yes, the point,
Mhm.
right? Uh, the Ministry of Public Works, like I stated, the Ministry of Public Works served that information. It was not it was not like a specific junction that we're going to serve New Jersey junction information telling that they're going to get people who are going to come here at so time, right? All right. Ministry of Public Works, publish that information on the 29, March 29,
Mhm.
that there will be a demolition process along the Japan freeway,
Mhm.
right? Okay. When the information was here, we sent a communication, Ministry of Public Works sent a communication to the lawmaker, the office of the lawmaker,
Representing
El
everyone.
Papi Fomo. He knew that
Mhm.
they are going to be a demolition process along the road.
Mhm.
He was served information. I don't know the office of the commission,
Mhm.
right? But then they got a department at Minister of Public Works called the zoning department. They're responsible to do, to give people permit as it relates to buildings.
Mhm.
If you constructed the buildings, you got to meet that particular department. They're going to send some of the agents on the field. They're going to do that assessment and tell you that this place is suited for social project. But the commission never did that. That project was political. Right? He was using that project to bring out his ambitions. Right? So he did it, not informing the ministry, not even informing the ministry the commission is on it. Because if you understand that the commissioner, the commission is on a ministry of
Ministry of Internal
internal
Affairs.
affairs.
Mhm.
He did not serve the communication. So you see, this is the embarrassment he caused for the people. Now everybody is now blaming some individual that had no link with this issue.
Don't you think that the demolition exercise was politically
Now,
manipulated?
I don't want to say it was politically motivated or any. That's the work of Ministry of Public Works.
Mhm.
I don't know why people keep linking this with I can call names. People keep linking this to Corona crack with some folks on the United Party. The United Party wants to destroy the legacy of commissioner, right? And I can see this, and you can hold this.
You are surprised.
The commissioner
Mhm.
standing right
Mhm.
and Corona crack. There ain't no competition. Let me say this clear.
Mhm.
They're not in no competition. They're not vying for no position. He has now contested that Corona Craft wants to get rid of his legacy.
It has been alleged that Cordelia suspected commissioner to be somebody who would definitely contest in the upcoming elections. So this is why she tried to manipulate or perhaps the liberation of his legacy so that his legacies can no longer be visible in the eyes of the
So
inhabitants.
it's speculation.
Mhm.
Just a speculation that Honorable Corona Craft see him to be of an eligible force.
Mhm.
Right? That is a speculation. There is no link with fact that Honorable Standing Right have money to contest for the election or this. He was working, but that is why I stayed there.
And
His working was a clash for our ambition, but it was never out
but do you see
because we knew that
we just looking at somebody.
we knew that the Honorable Senator supported Elwa Papi Flomo. We knew that supported Elwa Papi Flomo. Right? If he supported Elwa Papi Flomo, he he supported a CBC candidate. It's a sedition. You cannot get rid of that. So I don't see that to be an issue that Corona Craft wants to get rid of his legacy, and she wants to get rid of the legacy of the CDC administration, those things that they constructed. Yeah, if that was the case, you know which one of the rule going to get rid of? Out of these many rules around here, since United Party now got money to break down our buildings and rules, to construct new roads and buildings.
But let's talk about the petty trade of those people, those Liberians, those inhabitants of the township of New Jordan that have to sell at that particular spot in order to support their case in school. Let's talk about that. How do you think they are coping with this since the demolition exercise?
Lincoln. We should not limit the issue of a democracy to the development of individuals. Let us stop it. We need not to do that. Why would we say because Jim Brown will not support his child, so when we break the bus that Jim Brown will not support his child or children? Right? That's not the issue. In terms of development, people cry. This happened in Ghana. This happened in Nigeria. It's not a strange thing. And moreover, this bossa is not a home of nobody. It's not a home of nobody. This bossa serves the public. So we should be clear on this particular issue. This bossa is linked with nobody. This particular bossa is linked with nobody or connection that we're going to get rid of this bossa because we feel that this bossa is in Johnsonville. The exercise going to go on in Johnsonville. The exercise going to go on in along the Douala Belt. The whole of Montserrat are going to experience this exercise. So we need not to politicize this particular exercise.
Let's talk about how the ministry. Let's talk about how the ministry was very effective in the decentralization of the information, because a lot of the people, the reason why they are experiencing this level of disappointment, or perhaps they are feeling disappointed about this particular exercise, probably they felt that it wasn't the best time to do it, and again they felt that they were not.
So Lincoln, which one of the time is the best time?
Which one of the
that you consider is the best time?
No, I that is the view of the people. That is the view of the people.
So now, so now, here's the fact. The fact is, we're not going to wait for the approval of the people
Mhm.
before carrying on development, before carrying the audit. So you see some of the problem that the office of the commissioner has caused. I see it to be unnecessary problem,
Mhm.
right? You knew that that particular place was in the alley.
Mhm.
It was along the road, and it's at the bricks. That is why at the Ministry of Public Works, that a department called the EIA, they work along with the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. They call it the Environmental Assessment. They call it the EIA,
Mhm.
right? That department there to do assessment. They inform the zoning department, the EIA department for Ministry of Public Works.
What measures did it? What
He did
measures
not
did
part of
the
them.
what
That
measures
is,
did the zoning department took to prevent him from constructing when it knew that
no,
actually in
that is why,
uh-huh.
yeah, like Seku plays it, a minute ago,
Mhm.
that bus was constructed during the campaign period,
Mhm.
where everybody needed to show some things that this government is working. This government, and in 11 hour,
Mhm.
they wanted to prove, like in our Liberian saying, they wanted to show that shoot up. Yeah, during the time, we built this, we did this. But knowing the fact that you're not doing the right thing, you are not doing the right thing.
Mhm.
But you taught a while to just do anything that you want to do, right? So now the people, they're not pleased because you look now, you look like an angel in the eyes of the people.
Mhm.
But then you did not do the right thing. So we will continue to be supporting the wrong thing. So Lincoln, that is why I asked you, when will you think we're going to be the right time and people are going to do?
Well, those are the views of the people. So I don't need. I'm not the one pushing that particular point. But let's hear Seku regarding this whole issues and jump all other to other key national issues in our country.
So, like I said,
Mhm.
I want to maintain on this point
Mhm.
that the demolition exercise was necessary. It was proper. It's in line with government development plan.
Mhm.
That structure was erected for political purpose.
Mhm.
It was erected to accommodate votes into location at a particular place. So if you do that, it means you are impeding, or you are obstructing the government plan for development. So the CDC was wrong to have done that, and that was a political project. The reason why it has become a subject for discussion
Mhm.
it is based on the gullibility of our society. So you have a huge gullible, a good number of gullible people, and everything that the public hear, they don't have ability
Mhm.
to really read between the lines and make judgment. So we accept that, we accept that. But
Criticism is approaching in any time from now. The people are key. What could be a solution to arrest that situations they are going to be in? Do you think that there's a solution in the pipeline?
Lincoln,
And
Lincoln,
Mhm.
we got activists in District 13. I think this is the right time for these activists to come up,
Mhm.
that we can join forces, meet Honorable Corona Crack, talk to
Mhm.
her that we can find a suitable era to build a Boston. But I don't think this is the time that we need to start to blame people,
Mhm.
people that know nothing about that particular project. Let me tell you,
Mhm.
my brother, my brother, senior brother he was infected in that process. He had his rights continue, right? He had his rights continue at that spot, at the junction,
Mhm.
right? And they broke the place down. Why he not complaining that the government is not doing the right thing? Because in terms of development, you might experience traffic. This is not something personal. I don't know why some of our police, try to politicize it and linger with Honorable Corona Crime. I just don't see the reason.
Mhm.
Well, Ministry of Public Works self communication out. say will be coming at so and so point at so and so time to demolish so and so building, and you did not go for that information. But since you want to score political points, you want to use that to reduce another person that did nothing that supported Unity Party. So
you think the uprising tensions relative to that particular event is being engineered by other people from the other camp? Do you think so?
my junior brother on the radio.
Okay, folks, welcome back. We are very, very sorry for the interruptions in our broadcast. It was due to some grave technical issues from our back end. However, our technician has been able to quickly resolve these issues, and we are back. We sincerely apologize to you that again we don't have control over said situation, so we just have to condone that situation. So, Matt Giffen was actually making some salient point when I asked him a particular questions. He was just trying to clarify some of the, provide clarifications regarding the issues we were actually talking about. So, Mark, is being turned over to you again.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think this is the rightful time that we can meet Honorable Karina Craft. Talk to her in line with the office of the commissioner,
Mhm.
that we can find a suitable place and build a bus stop,
Mhm.
right? You see, we need not to politicize this issue about the demolition of the bus stop,
Mhm.
right? We need to
Do
stop
you
it.
think that the exercise has been politicized?
Definitely.
Mhm.
They had some folks from the CDC, District 13.
Mhm.
They had a lot of issues. They make a lot of statements. I remember my junior brother on the radio
Mhm.
a couple of days ago that I counter react. And I think we purposely decided to share the platform today, but
Mhm.
he did not appear. That's why
Mhm.
the brilliance of people in
It
our
was being
country,
speculated that
right?
he escaped.
No, no, he just have to because
Uh-huh.
under no condition that we will share the platform.
Uh-huh.
Willing Sano and I will share a platform,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And my junior brother Willing Sano,
Uh-huh.
you know, come up with flying color from that particular debate. You know why?
Uh-huh.
I'm not here to please any politician. Let me
Mhm.
be bold to you, Lincoln. Right? I want person that got no link with no politician office. So I say what I want to say,
Mhm.
right? For the public,
Mhm.
not for individual. When someone wants to certify the office of honorable Colorado, maybe to get his money start paying. I'm not that. I'm not working for an individual.
Mhm.
And so I don't feel that I feel proud that I'm going to, say this, John Brown,
Mhm.
and make up stories. I'm a young man. I got my career. I'm not trying to be so boastful,
Mhm.
right? But then I'm making you to understand that if you can read between lines
Mhm.
and do your own analysis, do research. My junior brother Sunday will not sit on a platform and try to denigrate the office of Arena, dragging her into the issue of Ministry of Public Works
Someone could say
because
that.
he wants to please Papi Flomo. He went far lying on the office of Papi Flomo, saying Honorable Papi Flomo was present and he said that he don't want to get involved. He Papi Flomo, I don't want to get involved because this is not his problem. You know,
Someone could say that the reason why you try to defend Cornelia, or probably you are trying to shield Cornelia out of this whole syndicate, is because Cornelia is a unity partisan, and obviously you are a unity partisan. So you are trying to utilize the unity partisan solidarity to get Cornelia out of the way.
so if
Mm,
Lincoln,
mm,
let me draw this to your attention. You knew that I supported Princess Edo Kennedy.
yeah.
Corina Crack was part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Corina Crack and I have been having a very good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Corina Crack remains to be my senior policy from the United Party, right? But you see, the issue of a party is interest.
Mm-hmm.
So he as a chairman, and I supported ANC
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even though I violated some rules and regulations of my party
Mm-hmm.
because Princess Kennedy then was my interest, right? But that did not spoil the relationship between Corina and I. So that clearly said that if Corina is not doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
definitely I'm going to take the media and say that. But if she doesn't have a link with a particular issues,
Uh-huh.
right? I'm going to speak to that issue of clarity, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not doing it because Corina is the current deputy minister
Mm-hmm.
of Ministry of State, and some people think I want favor of Honorable Corina, but sometimes it is better to clear the airway. We need to piece the issue about our country, Liberia first,
Mm-hmm.
than politics, because you know why? The man from CDC is not a Nigerian. He remains to be a Liberian man. The man from the United Party remains to be a Liberian man. So we need not to come say no. The other man from the other side and the other man. You know what? What some of the power that cost 800,000 lives to lost in 1994 in Rwanda. It was this particular issue. This country belongs to a certain group of people. So the Hutus are telling the Tutsis say the country now for them. We know you guys hail from the Ethiopia belt, right? When the Belgian colonists came, we know that you're here from the East. So it continues to cause problems. So you know what? It led to a serious genocide. That people lost their life. So we gotta be very careful when we try to engage ourselves. And try to look at the issue about politics to be a huge thing. Is that if I support this particular party and you support this particular party, we got no relationship. Anything you try to engage in, whether it's right or it's wrong, so long you from that particular political party, it seems not to be. We need to stop it. That's not politics. I see that to be destruction.
All right, let's there are other key issues that have been making wave. Most importantly, the most publicized debate surrounding the World and Economic Crime Court. A few months ago, the lower house, 49 members of the lower house, I think, they're signatories to that resolution, and that communication surfaced at the grounds of the Senate, and it was later put in committee room. However, it was then unanimously endorsed by 28 members of the House of Senate. What does that mean? What does that mean? Especially considering the fact that we this recommendation has long been submitted to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who was a Unity Party Zama at the time, at the state level of Unity Party. She led this country for 12 years, and George Weah came in the office of the president. Everybody thought that George Weah was going to adhere to the recommendation of the TRC people. But first of all, what does that progress mean to our country?
If you ask me for my opinion, I would say to you that it is a new dawn for justice in our country. Learn on those who bear the greatest responsibilities for atrocities that are committed during our brutal civil war should not go unpunished. It is about time that we end the culture of impunity in our country so that it will serve deterrent. You understand? So the issue about this resolution is welcome, but I have another argument to the particular effect.
What is your argument?
And my argument is to ensure that the bill is resolution the president to the establishment of the war and the council for Liberia, for to also establish a bill themselves as a body, as a legislature, to establish a bill to ensure that uh, there is.
Do you but first,
it must be submitted in a bill, but not in a resolution. So a resolution is basically to say what be established, but there are other legal frameworks that should that need to establish.
Other pundits who have a lot of issues or experience about this other issues, because this international code is not a new case. It has happened in other countries. Some people have a lot of experience about this particular issue. Some people classify that the fact that the lawmakers, including the both houses, have affected a senator, that could be a green light to accelerate the process. What do you make of it?
Obviously, but the thing is, considering our own legal jurisprudence, yeah. So it has to be in conformity, with the established laws on the book.
So let's hear Mark Divine on this particular issue, because this particular debate has suffered potential argument when Joseph Baka was sworn in as president of the country. The war crime code. A lot of people saying Joe Baka was not signed. Other people, you have a lot of diverse opinion. People saying Joe Baka obviously will not sign. He just want to make a big bluff. And this is a political bluff. And people are saying Joe Baka will sign it. The paper is here for legacy. What do you have to say in regards to the whole issue?
Firstly, I would like to use the media to congrats the both houses. And I think there's exactly they can see it from this point. They can see it from this point as a progress that the both houses you know. But then, what will we do? People that willingly took money from our government calls, they stayed around here. They feel free. They got on the same radio and boast about what they have done. What the law gonna do, right? So I think this is the time that we need to deem it necessary that we your location, so long you have issue with that particular court, or you took government funds, or you committed atrocity during the war, or you are involved in the war, whatever time, however harm it caused to our government, definitely you need to pay for it. And I feel that it is necessary.
Let's look at the implications of that about the war. People say there are other people who believe that we should not just discuss the establishment of the war, but we should also take some of the balls and try to be very far-sighted in taking outside of the balls, looking at the implications that the war crime court establishment may
So Lego,
they
I'm not
started
cutting
the
you off.
issues about security.
Lego, I'm not cutting you off. If we look at that, right? And so we got the founder of Child State of saying on the earth. How they feel? I think they feel. Hmm? Their father is in jail. Their husband is in jail. Hey, you know, that grandfather is in jail because he contributed to this. So we need not to say the pain of others and others will feel this way and this is going to cause this. No, they'll do the right. They'll just do the right thing and let the executive see it necessary. Let the president of broadcast them see it necessary. Whatever means that he need or whatever paper that he think that he needs to sign, go on signing that paper to establish the code. And so I don't see that to be a problem. Establishing the World Economic Forum. I don't see that to be a problem.
Are you also keen about the implications, the security implications, looking out the manpower of our joint security? They are not,
that,
you know.
When I feel, in my honest opinion, and I feel when they establish that, definitely a lot of mechanisms are going to put in place. So we need not to worry about security and all that stuff, right? Because this is an international code. We try to establish it.
But where do you stand regarding the reservations that was enshrined into the resolution that was earlier forwarded to the office of the president that has to do with the war crime code should be established on the basis of international standard, while the economic crime code be established in our local with our local standards here? What do you make of it?
So you see,
do you classify that as a deception?
No, I don't see that to be a deception, right? The economic crime code is locally, right? Because none of these transactions that people took government money, they did not do it. They use our local banks to do foreign transfers. So the history, even though you got to go to Echo Bank to know that they may transfer the money to one bank in Nigeria, to one bank in Ghana. So it must start locally, right? Because not gonna show you that if this code is established, definitely Liberia gonna get back on his normal path. For example, we have few group of people stole Lone Star Airline. Some of them still alive, right? They're alive. They need to bear the penalty or pay for what they did. But if we let them walk with impunity, they're free and they are the big guys around town. They enjoy themselves. Why the citizen gonna benefit? You know how many dollars the Lone Star Airline gonna contribute to our revenue? Now we have to we now depending on budgetary allocation of foreign partners before we can generate revenue.
All right, let's hear Sekou probably has some the diverse view or opposite view regarding the implications of the war and economic crime code. Some people say that we should not just be concentrated about the call for the establishment of the war crime. We should also think big. We should also be keen on the issues about security. What do you make? What we should also be talking about how we can be able to upgrade our security in the wake of preparing for the establishment of this code. What do you make of this?
The issue about war crime. I like to emphasize on war crime. It tells you that it is crime that is committed against the world. It is a crime that the world opposes,
Mhm.
that the world detests. So there is already a global legal framework
Mhm.
that's already set for those who commit war crimes in various countries around the world
Mhm.
or who are signatory to that particular agreement. So uh, the atrocities that are committed in Liberia
Mhm.
concerning the recent resolution
Mhm.
and our own quest for the establishment for a war and economic crimes code, uh, I can say to you the issue about security, whenever a war crime is about to be established in a particular territory or in a country,
Mhm.
there are already technical security this factor across.
Mhm.
Then you talk about those who committed, war crime in terms of those who are responsible for the killing and massacre of other people.
Mhm.
So, what for me, in my opinion, this
Mhm.
is just an opinion being expressed. I will say to you, whatever the situation is, whether it will be done locally, whether it will be segmented, that is, you have one component be dealt with using our local jurisprudence,
Mhm.
or whether you use one component using the international law and all of that.
Mhm.
But what is required and
You
what I want
you are interested in
in
justice.
justice.
Were you somehow shocked when two warlords, who are now in the house, the upper house, were you shocked with them fixing their signature to that particular resolution? The likes of Prince Johnson, who oftentimes you targeted, and the likes of Yaya Neiman. Were you shocked about of them cooperating to ensure that they bring these long-standing issues to rest?
Uh, you know, Prince Johnson, whenever the issue about a war and academic crime code is mentioned, Prince Johnson feels jet up. Prince Johnson
Were
feels
you
accused.
shocked about him signing onto the
So,
document?
so what it was that day, I was privileged to have witnessed. I was in the Senate chamber that day.
Mhm.
So it was dramatic. Actually, it was
Yeah.
a dramatic scene,
Mhm.
and Prince Johnson did that for reasons. So maybe I not did we expand
Yeah.
on those reasons for which Prince Johnson did that, but it was not solid normal. It was calculated.
Okay. Let's dive to other issues. We still have a lot of issues to talk about. The national issues is they are so cumbersome that we need to talk about it gradually, bit by bit. Let's talk about the asset recovery team. Even though we receive a communication from the court that there should be a prohibition or a state order placed on their operations, and when they arrested, all of the vehicles belonging to Gracious Ra, and Chief Blamo said it was not those vehicles do not belong to Finabolo, and since then the court mandated him to bring those documents that prove him to be the legitimate owner, and up to then he has not produced. What do you make of the assets recovery team
Lincoln,
headed by Evan Clemente?
Lincoln,
Uh-huh.
Lincoln, you see Liberia?
Mhm.
If it continues to lead this country like the way it is, and we place it in a position that uh, we want to wish on people,
Mhm.
definitely deprive other countries as they are hailing, right? Liberia will not get on that particular part,
Mhm.
right? The fact is, if you serve government, right? If you serve government and do these documents, what is the team doing, or what is the court saying to that issue? So if we said let leave the issue pending, definitely this individual, this manager, still gotta hope somewhere that hey, right, he gonna get his cards. But if the law say all right, we'll take it. Says Martin is not in the position to let me say Martin, the individual, the manager, he's not in the position to provide a set document at a particular time. Definitely, the asset recovery thing, it belongs to government. Because I don't feel I don't feel that they just gonna go for gracious ride. And what they got other transport company, why did they not go for IE buses? They got IE buses flying the street. They got some churches buses flying the street. Why they not, why the asset security not thinking on that side? Because they have information. That is why they have to get information on you before the asset security go to investigate.
What do you make of people who say Adam Clementine may have a very good intent, but owing to the fact that he was earlier dismissed by President George Weah, and he may sometimes induce or he may sometimes inject some level of prejudice in his operation?
So you see, I don't see that to be a wish. Even if like Martin is telling it, I don't see that to be a wish. He's implementing his job, right? I can remember back then the team was headed by Councillor Arthur Johnson. Arthur Johnson was handling the assets recovery team. Even though we did not have sufficient information on what he did, those assets they recovered.
But at some point in time he died.
It just went that way. It just went that way. So he said support. He said remain one of the lawyer of the Congress of Democratic Change.
So
I don't see that why Ella Martin gonna be which word I should use. He gonna take side in doing this, or he already got mind for people from the city. No. He's doing his job, and I think that the court need to get Edward Martin the authority.
So let's go over to Sekou to hear Sekou regarding this whole assets recovery issue. Sekou, a lot of Liberians think that the reason why Liberia is not moving as it should move in terms of development is the issues about corruption, and some people have classified corruption as a cancer eating away the fabric of our society. So Joseph Boakar's asset recovery has been making a lot of impactful gains since it was established. What do you make of it in its general starting from its establishment to the level of operation they have been able to implement so far?
First thing, the issue of asset recovery. It is something that all well-meaning Liberians should support, and I too do support 100% the issue of asset recovery. State national corruption has been impeding. If you take state property or what that does not belong to you, to the country, you are going against majority of the country, or your action is hurting the country, right? So on account of that, I am one of those, or I am a progenitor or an advocate for transparency and accountability by and through the asset recovery team. So what usually happens, there were some little missteps, admittedly, bringing sincerity to national discourse, right? So we intend to be very objective to the subject matter. Initially, when the asset recovery team started, based apparently on one would say based on their zealousness of their enthusiasm to have the job done, because those who are placed on the committee are people with impeccable moral character, are people who have good moral standing in society. So basically, one wanted to show their commitment to the president and all of that. So there were So errors.
What were those
There
errors?
was
What were those missteps
there,
that you cited?
there was
As a misstep. What were those
there were
missteps?
some major
Uh,
missteps along the way in terms of the operation of the correcting. The measures that were put in place was draconian.
mm,
As a result, you saw the when one of those who felt help and the action of the asset recovery team went on the Supreme Court,
mm,
you can bear me out, you can explain the rest of the story.
mm.
How the Supreme Court ruled, the Justice Chamber rule, is a testament that there was error along the way because uh, gracious Ra have created a Supreme Court. The rate that was proper gracious Ra to have them recover their assets and to script the asset recovery team of the legal responsibility and all of that. And the court accepted that motion,
Mhm.
and then there was some legal rule. By the end of the day, people thought that the asset recovery team was there, and it was a legal slap in the face of the asset recovery team.
Mhm.
So it tells initially, based on a support ruling, as a rational person, based on a support ruling, it tells you that the asset recovery team intention is good, their motives are all correct, but the initial action of the team step against their legal
You
bounds.
sound impressed about
Step against their legal bounds. So
yeah.
as a result, they were slapped in the face. So when they went back and resubmitted another motion, we saw the result. The Supreme Court again went back and ruled. Justice Timber Yusukawa
uh,
ruled restoring
the power.
the power of the asset recovery team,
Uh-huh.
giving them that legal standing to have, to go back and start afresh.
Yeah, you sound impressed a bit by the operations or the task given to the Access Recovery Team headed by Edwin Clark Mountain. As a Liberian citizen aside, what up you want to bring sincere to the disco, as you said. What up you're taking care of? What do you advise? What kind of salient pieces of advice can you proffer to Edwin Clark Mountain? Probably he is most serious and probably he wants to impress the president. What can you advise him as he moves on in this particular tedious task?
So, Eric Martin is a very brilliant lawyer.
Mm.
Following in the courts for on so many cases. One of those cases was the case involving the Roots FN and the government of Liberia.
Mm.
But then he was Kante Anthony, most of the Kante Anthony.
Mm.
Yeah. So I was in the courtroom. The one who was the legal counsel for Root FN. He's a very good lawyer. For something I must admit. This was rejected, ostracized because of his critical stance to ensure that accountability and transparency will. So he has a record. So I'm just trying to enumerate his record of integrity
Mhm.
in the public space. So he stood for something.
Mhm.
Initially, like I said, there were some missteps along, and we are all human. We know no one
Yeah,
is
exactly.
it's error.
Mhm.
So this is why the legal council went back and corrected the mistakes, and today the African Republic team has regained its full potential, its full legal capacities and standing to effectuate the president's mandate
Mhm.
or the mandate for which they were established.
One of the in the campaign period, one of the reasons, probably if not all of the reasons why Liberians voted against President George Manuel Weah, because a lot of them, based upon what the results showed from the National Election Commission, it proved that a lot of Liberians were actually opting for change, and this is why they brought Joseph Waka to the power. And within the Joseph Waka manifestos, you have one of the arrows that symbolizes the rule of law. Before our very eyes, we saw a very shocking ruling coming from criminal code B, wherein Nelson Chenin held down a ruling that shocked the entire country relative to the case involving Jessica Lodge and Richard Luca. But first of all, you as a Liberian, you have feelings for women, and because we all have feelings for women, owing to the fact that women were the one who gave birth to all. But what do you make of that particular case?
Lincoln,
Mm.
let me speak of that particular issue.
Mm.
Where, the judiciary is another branch of God.
Yeah, the judiciary is another branch. I'm aware that there's a law that says there should be no interference from
Definitely.
But
So
I'm
you see,
asking
you see,
Mhm.
there's some of the differences the past administration and the administration held about Honorable Joseph Walker,
Mhm.
right? President in charge, right? So Joseph Walker not going to temper up the rights from the judiciary.
Mhm.
So so anything that they have done,
Mhm.
they're going to be accounted for at that particular juncture. And so you're not going to fear Walker going to leave the office of the executive marshal to go to the judiciary to say to mandate them what to do. If they're not doing the right thing, definitely the law going to hold them reliable. The people going to know that what they did is not right. There's a complete violation against the right of a woman.
But generally, what do you make of that particular case, especially the ruling that came from criminal court B in the midst of all of the evidences we had? And everybody thought in this country that obviously Jessica Richards were being
That is
prosecuted.
why. That is why, and I openly say this:
Mhm.
justice, justice is not set in the court of law.
Mhm.
Justice is not set in the court of law. We need to, rather, you know, improve our justice system. We definitely need to improve our justice system because we got a lot of people that are on the bench.
Mhm.
That is still after the issue of a catch.
Mhm.
They're not looking at their long term career that they've been around, right? Their minds, their focus is to get money to enrich themselves from the life of the common people. They see the issue about justice,
Mhm.
not to be served. So you're not gonna blame another President Joseph Walker. You're not gonna blame everybody government for that. We hold their accountable on their works.
Mhm.
That is why they are the court. If you look at the judiciary, even though they are appointed by the president, right? But then they carry their own scope for operation,
Mhm.
right? The constitution gives them some power. So not everything that the president going to mandate them to do, right? Because they are another branch of government. Same as the executive, the legislature, right? And they got their own functions. So the difference, like I previously stated, the difference between the past administration and the current administration,
Mhm.
right? They're not going to interfere with anybody working.
Mhm.
So anything you think it is fine, you engage yourself in negative, whether negative or positive thing, you're gonna have liable for that.
Let's hear Sekou regarding that particular issues. Yes, let's hear Sekou regarding that particular issue. The ruling that came from criminal court B, and people have started to trace the profile or the credentials of Judge Nelson Cheney. He was one person who again headed down an acquittal verdict in the 100 million drug case, and again he has done something that seems to be a bit shocking to everybody in the country. What do you make of that particular ruling?
So, like my colleague rightly told or integrated,
Mm-hmm.
the judiciary is a distinct branch of government
Mm-hmm.
all by itself. So, their decision rendered in the judiciary cannot be equated to the executive.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to preface my discussion.
But we saw
Yes.
Ben Keita interfering. It was being alleged that Ben Keita interfered with the justice system, even though you are citing these particular issues during the case involving Judy Andy and Prophet Key. We saw Ben Keita placing a call, and it was being widely speculated, and Ben Keita didn't come out to rebut the particular statement.
So you ask a particular question
Mhm.
regarding a particular subject matter,
Mhm.
and then you sway away.
No, no, no. We're just trying to bring a scenario because you want to you want to find your statement or your opinion with
I was only the premise,
uh-huh.
but the premise of that entire discussion
Mhm.
is that the president himself
Mhm.
have never
Mhm.
interfered in any judicial matter. There have been no record of President Joseph Mabaka interfering into any judicial matter.
Mhm.
And the president, as a matter of fact, is someone who respects the rule of law. So he has no intention to do whatsoever. So the decision run no how it is no, let me rational, right?
Mhm.
Putting point aside, let me rational. How does it make sense to say President Baka uh, interfere in the ruling of of the judge? The judge who rendered the verdict on the on that girl,
Mhm.
right? How does it sound to say, oh, Joseph Baka?
He was there. He said no. When I accept it, let this be in
No,
favor of the girl.
those are issues that are in the public
But
already.
That is what I was saying.
Uh-huh.
I was honest. I was opinion on this particular matter.
Mhm.
Right? Right? Let's say.
Mhm.
Right? So how will you feel? Right? If Honorable Baga come out and say that, okay, I don't think the ruling that came out,
Mhm.
we're gonna accept that ruling. No. So how are you gonna relate to the public? So you see, he cannot interfere with that point. That's a different branch of government that have its own different corporations.
Mhm.
That of the legislature, sometimes that's why I stated the United Party government will not interfere with nobody job,
Mhm.
right? If he even a mayor commissioner, and if he's not proceeding well, it is the duty of the executive
Mhm.
to say, all right, we'll take James Brown from there, right? But then the legislature, the judiciary ain't get power to say, you take that man from there. So Joseph Boakai, as a president, in his own wisdom,
Mhm.
let him carry their own operations. So definitely people know that. Even though he did it during the regime or the administration of the United Party, but his name is he gonna be held reliable.
Mhm.
Or what he did was not right. Then he link that with Joseph Boakai.
And you know, just to zero in on the issue about the ruling of from judge involving the American national.
Mhm.
You see, coming as a stand in the court of believe it is widely speculated that the judge was compromised. That's why it's been perceived.
About
If
do you think that the judge was compromised?
no, don't you believe that the public it
Oh
has
yeah, in the
that
court of public opinion, the court of public opinion is quick to preempt issues.
so the point I'm making
Mhm.
is that it tells you the judiciary reform
Mhm.
that is needed in this country. Assuming without admitting
Mhm.
that the judge is judiciously proceeding,
Mhm.
or the judge is proceeding in the right trajectory,
Mhm.
but the expression when cast upon the judiciary
Mhm.
and precedents will inform the public that this man action is not correct, even though it is correct, but based on past precedent. So because of the way judiciary has been proceeding,
Mhm.
so sometimes it will appear that the judge might be bullied unfairly,
Mhm.
but that perception could be wrong.
So,
The judge could be bullying on the law,
mhm.
but based on, like I said, based on the way the judiciary has been performed for the first time,
Mhm.
based on the proper compromise happened in the judiciary. So the judiciary is one of the compromise branches of government in our country. That is a good father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So based on that historicity, one will surmise or one will conclude that that just ruled unfairly. And that's just the point I'm making. So you understand? So it tells you that our judicial reform is very important in its kind of.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We have to have confidence in the judicial system, and the judiciary themselves need to show that that confidence is built in themselves.
Given the kind of growing disappointment and whatever people, because a lot of people have been following this case from September of when when ex-president George Weah was in power. A lot of people have gained so much interest in this particular thing, owing to the fact that the ruling, in the final ruling or the final verdict in this particular case, has been delivered on the 17th. Owing to the fact that people are feeling surprised. Does that in any way suggest to you that the judge probably was induced financially? Does it in any house suggest to you that the judge was induced?
You can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell. We're not going to tell you that there was a foul play,
Mm-hmm.
right? For our level of understanding, which that is not the law. We're going to say, yeah, it has some issues that were played, some foul play that went on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he took cash, he did what, but we cannot provide information or we cannot provide evidences to our claim, right? So what we are saying, uh, the public, going to analyze it the way they look at it, right? And they felt that this man violated the right of the woman. So he was wrong. He needed to bear that penalty. On the other hand, maybe the law will say that we fight from our perspective, but from the issue of the law, he was right what he did to the girl. But if it's me, if my little man understand, definitely I'm gonna say, some of our brothers in the United States, Europe, they have been persecuted for crime they committed. So if you are American, you come to Liberia and violated the law of Liberia, I think we need the law of Liberia need to take course. Let us leave the issue about America and this that we are partners, they help us contribute, and we need not to do this. Let the law take course.
What do you say to people who have developed the opinion or the sentiment that in order to receive fair justice in this country, you must have a very deep pocket? What do you say to them?
You see, there's no justice for the poor in the court of law, right? Because people want to satisfy the financial desire. They want to satisfy financial that financial or desire. So they go on doing anything they want to do to satisfy what they can get from a particular case, Lincoln. So the man will not find pleasure in uh doing the right thing. Because the poor have nothing to get the lawyer, right? The poor has nothing to get the lawyer, and no one wants to be a poor man lawyer. In short, no lawyer want to be go and say no, you poor man lawyer. So justice will not be easily served as the court. So we need to find trustworthy people before you pass the National Bar Association test, the bar test. Before you graduate from law school, you got to get certain training. So it's a complete discipline that got to do with your own character. But then you see our people will let go these disciplines and go on the way and say, I feel like it's an opportunity. I spent 5 to 6 years at the Louis Arthur Grant School of Law. It took me a lot of time to pass the bar association test. So I think this is the time that I can enrich myself from the code.
Okay.
And so you see, it is not easy. For me, I can clearly tell you that justice is not served in the court of law. This is not too different. This been happening long since. And for example, you heard about the case surrounding one of the at the Supreme Court, a certain George. They're talking from the bench because he had a dissenting view during the 2017 election. And so you see, they have bad people will always be placed in top positions. The good ones, they're not going to have that voice to say, oh, we're not doing the right thing because they're in my new portion.
Okay. Okay. Let's dive to other issues while we are winding down the curtain. What do you make of the resignation of the longest serving chairpersons of the coalitions of democratic change? Our understanding has established, our investigation has established that he has to form or formulate a civil society organization. And I saw them the other day trying to mount pressures on the Senate and the House of Representatives regarding these issues about the war crime code. But in totality, what do you make of it?
Lincoln,
Hmm.
Lincoln. One Chairman Model knew that and advocacy or the rule of law was important in our country. I don't get credence to these things.
Hmm.
Let me be honest. I don't get credence to these things.
Hmm.
Right? That now because you no longer, control state power, you no longer control men. When you knew that the work of activists was so important, when people like Gifty Lama lost their life here, our peers lost their life, what of our auditors?
But what do
We
you
had this the city missing boards, we see Moses Ryan. What he knew,
what do you think?
but you think at this time it is necessary that I will fully trust Chairman Malu for what reason?
But
I see that he's trying to find another means to hustle.
to reinvent himself
It's
politically?
definitely to hustle. But let me just say it, bro. That now Moruba Moru recognize bad thing in our society that he wants to form a group. That now he recognized that the killing not supposed to kill bad laws. At that time when he was chairman, he now knew those things were going on. He didn't have the voice to speak to national issues because he was in the seat and he was post supporter of
what probably do you think?
I don't take issue of that.
What probably do you think could be the reasons, the justifiable reasons upon which Molu, because a lot of people say Molu was coerced to resign, and he has to resign so that they
he had no option,
and it will appear that
there was no. Let me tell you, Lincoln, there was no option. Molu was not that kind of forced to resign. He just had to resign. You know, we all been here, right? Molu was not well focused. The government was not really focusing on Molu since he had an issue with the recalling with the president. You know, he was not recognized by top government officials. They felt that he discussed the president, and the president decided to have no dealing with him. But the issue about the chairmanship was about time. So they was not going to forcefully move him for other position. But then in our country, the then major did a lot of things. And it was to his knowledge, but he did not speak to these issues. So it is not, if you feel like the word of an artist is necessary, we can speak to it. I want to form a group to redeem the people. I don't see that to be serious. I don't see him to be one of the serious men in our society. And let me just say it. Hold me on record. I don't see Moruba Moru to be a serious individual in our country.
Why?
Because
he
been playing.
For 6 years.
He been playing. So now he wants to be serious. Because CDC is no longer controls the bread and butter issue of our country.
Don't you want you don't want him to hold your government accountable?
What do you think you're gonna speak on? What do you think? Yeah, Moruba Moru
the bread and butter issues like
you think? Listen now. You think Moruba Moru as an individual? You think one Moruba Moru can sit on an open table and convince me say this is wrong?
I'm convincing you guys about advocating or something.
So you see, there was being that just another setup on the coalition of democratic change, where establish that group to satisfy their own, desire when it comes to they use the word activists. When it comes, they feel like this is the rightful time we can push
part of that making. CDC's campaign, CDC went after Manasarif on the basis that the country was massively corrupt,
Mhm.
that the country was divided, that there was insecurity in the country.
Mhm.
You name the rest. When the masses provided the CDC the opportunity in 2027,
2017, that was when, yeah, 2018 when they was inaugurated into office.
2017,
Uh-huh.
2017, 2018, right?
Mhm.
When he was finally inaugurated in office as the president of the Republic of Liberia.
Mhm.
6 years. Follow my line of thought. Follow the logic. I'm deconstructing, I'm destroying that stuff because thing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The thing I'm putting pieces so.
Mhm.
Follow my logic. In 2017, 2018,
Mhm.
the masses decided to entrust the CDC with the helm of power, having struggled for 12 solid years in opposition. What did the CDC do with power?
Someone could say that the reason why you never heard Mobile Manu speaking on some of those issues that were happening in the country is because he was playing he was playing a very crucial role in the establishment of the coalition of Democratic change. That's why.
So when you're part of the CDC,
So you can be in the establishment, be fighting the establishment. Some people will
I'm not cutting you off.
and
They had this economists uh
they one from the University of Liberia.
from University of Liberia, the AMA University.
Yeah, they call him man.
Let's go to the point.
Lester Tenney.
Dr. Lester Tenney.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Lester Tenney was part of the CDC, right?
And executive.
And the executive of the coalition of democratic change. He spoke to critical issues that were confronting the people, that was buying the growth and development of the state, right? He spoke to them. He was not looking at uh uh because from CDC I need not to speak to these particular issues. You see, so sometimes when you place in position, I feel this is the rightful time. Lincoln, who check my words. The day Unity Party, you know, Unity Party, the Unity government is not proceeding the right way. You will come here and host me and tell you why the Unity Party did at this particular issue what they did, they were wrong. Even though I will serve the Unity Party government, I will serve, but I will come on your mind and tell you that Unity Party did not proceed the right way. And the
Will you be willing to receive the internal latches? Will you be willing to receive the internal latches?
Definitely. History going to judge me today or tomorrow. When I come here and say everybody from the Unity Party, they are angels. They have no fault. But you see, they got an issue with the current Minister of State, right?
Brisbane.
Sylvester Griffiths, right? I wanted the individual that are against that. And I can sit down and speak against it. Let the law take this course. Let us not see the issue of a government one-sided, right? Since upon the United Party and everything United Party engaged himself in, it is right. So nothing that people from the United Party going to do that, going to do wrong. I'm not a kind of, I don't see that to be politics. I feel that if I involve myself into that, definitely I'm not going to be treating our next generation. I'm not going to be fair to other people that are following me. They know that I speak to national issues. During the regime of CDC, I was very critical on that leadership when it comes to not operating or not functioning in the interest of the people. Then Unity Party comes to power and try to implement the same old wrong thing. So why society gonna say maybe my career, my starter in life is only about money? I don't want to be judged on that particular aspect.
Let me conclude on the issue of STEM. The Liberia people cannot take STEM serious. They cannot.
going to speak to critical issue at this particular time that the government is not proceeding well, and I just vibe.
But what do you make about Representative Sak Foko talking about submitting the bill before plenary to have Joe Baka impeached?
I see that to be a
Do
play.
you think
That
that
is why
the legalistic power to do that?
I see that to be a play.
Yeah, a bluff?
It's more than a bluff
And
because you know when you bluffing, you got something fun or nice on.
he
But
is
when you
some-
play, when you play, you don't need to have something or nice or decent on when you play. So I feel like he's playing sample. That's why
he cited that the president is violating almost all the laws in the country.
that is why Lincoln. Yes, the fact Lincoln. We need to be serious. You see, one of the branch of government
Mm.
that is politics for our society is the legislature, right? They're not. I can tell you for real, they're not in the interest of the people.
Mm.
If we decide that we will just vote, people who are people that understand the dialectics about our country moving forward, people of certain age, not playboys, right? I classify them as playboys because they want everything, they want high salaries, they want to ride the best of cars. You know, so they're not going to function. They're not going to function the way we want for them to function. They're not going to work in the interest of the Liberian people.
Okay. So we are a bit pressed up with time. So, gentlemen, we will definitely look for another time to have you guys invited here. Until then, let's go to Sekou Sharif to wrap up and give out his party comment.
I want to be very grateful to the management of this system for this impact and for always disseminating information because information is very important for public consumption. Your work in the media space is being appreciated. We hope and pray that God will bless you as you expand the facility more. I'd like to conclude by saying the government of His Excellency President Joseph Imam Bouakai is on the right trajectory. It's on the right path, and this is the government that is poised to lead the biggest political record in the history of our country to ensure that after 6 years, London, after the 6 years of President Joseph Imam Bouakai, Liberia will begin to realize the prosperity of what it means to have a leader in power, somebody who is leading. So the dream and aspiration of this president is
Weren't the leaders leading?
some were rooting, some were not leading.
Okay, just go.
So,
wrap up.
So I like to say to you that and those following this broadcast that the president is focused. The president is going to ensure that he delivers on his deliverables. All those things that were promised by the president will ensure that this country progresses. But if you look at the damage, the economic impact, the economic war that was created by the CC regime, you will understand that we were hanging on a death trap. So Ambassador Joseph Imam has a Hercules task at hand to ensure that he resuscitates the economy and put it on a right trajectory to ensure that the masses of our people have some economic stability and prosperity. So on this note, I want to say thank you and we want to have here another episode of this entitled of you.
Yeah,
And it's always our pleasure being here. Long live Liberia, long live the excellency president.
We hope to see that from the president. And let's go to Marky from McKinney and also wrap up on this conversation.
Okay. Firstly, I'd like to say thanks to the management of staff of Forecast TV. Thanks for inviting me. You know, like I said, this place is my home. And I would like to end with this. You know, let us start political everything. I want to end with this with number 13 issues. And especially the bus stop, the breaking down of the bus stop, where we need not to politicize this. Two, Honorable Anthony Corino Crack have no connection to this issue of the bus stop. I stop there. There will be progress based in shop. I'll talk to her and see how best we can erect a new bus stop. So thanks for the opportunity.
All right, so you two gentlemen in our studio, like we find Kay, and they have been able to speak to some critical national issues as well as elevating the issues about the township of New Jersey, especially regarding this bookshelf issues that have been making rounds in our district. So this is how many thanks to all of you. Emmanuel B. Zoll is watching. Maurice A. Krumam is watching. Andy Brooklyn Jala was OCEO. Amba Blamba Kamara, I'm currently following you guys from my OFI New York resident. Rennie Bamados Nimna Tude, I hope I pronounced that name very well. He is also watching. He said, "Oh, so I don't know as to whether he's surprised to see you guys in studio. Probably it won't be a very easy thing because this
I
is
will get that one.
yeah. I think so. It would be necessary. So okay, this is how we choose to end this debate. Today it has been a very fascinating and intriguing discussion. My name is Kay Lyndon Toba and bye bye from my end.